Hi, Paul here from Trekitt with Harry as usual behind the camera, and just for a change we have camped out in the lovely new Trekitt Hereford filming studio built by Harry and Ben's fair hands. Multitasking, not only can he point a camera or Ben twizzle a tash, but they can build filming studios. So, and as luck would have it, we've come inside today to talk to you about the Osprey Talon range of bags on what happens to be the first proper sunny day of the year. So thank you, Harry, for shutting me away in this airless, windowless room when it's beautiful outside. Anyway, I won't bang on about that too much because Harry's getting sick of hearing that. But so yeah, we're here to talk about the Osprey Talon 26, and I'm also going to include the Talon 36 in this video as well, basically because the bags are very, very similar, apart from the capacity, obviously, just a few more litres on the 36 than on the 26, 10 to be precise. But they share a lot of common features, including the way that you access the pack. So throughout the Osprey range, there's kind of 3 different openings, and there are different sizes within those openings. So on this video, we'll be looking at these top zip opening Talon 26 and Talon 36. The bags have had an upgrade for this season, so they feature a brand new back system. More about that later. And they also feature improved and environmentally friendly fabrics, but again, more about that later. So stay tuned to get all the details, to find out all the new juicy features, and yeah, I'll go through those as we go through the video. So what is an Osprey Talon? Well, the Talon range was primarily designed to meet the needs of fast and light mountain users. So that could be anybody who's running, who's cycling, who's climbing, who's scrambling, who's walking, who's canoeing, or whatever. Anybody who's outdoors and just wants a lightweight, comfortable, feature-rich pack that can carry their stuff around in absolute comfort and not get in the way and not interfere with what they're doing, and just kind of work and just get on with it. So the original was the Talon 22, designed primarily around, like I said, trail running, fast moving activities. And we're going to look at the Talon 26 primarily in this video. So the Talon 26 fits into that kind of fast hiking, fast mounting users. It's a great bag for extended days out into the mountains, for hill walking. You could use this for a bit of running, but it might find it a little bit large, but certainly for those ultra marathons, mountain marathon events where you're out maybe for a couple of nights, a bag like this would work really, really well. So it's lightweight, it's flexible, it's breathable, it's tough, it's durable, and first and foremost, it's incredibly comfortable. Okay, so the back system, that really is the key feature of any rucksack. It's the bit that is against your back. It provides the integral support and structure of the pack and really define its use from kind of, the big, strong framed backpacking to lightweight foam running and lightweight packs. And the Talon kind of sits in between. So what they've done for this new season, they being Osprey, obviously, is introduce a new HDPE frame sheet throughout the length of the back here on the rucksack. And that provides support, but it still allows some flexibility. So it will flex, it will twist, it will move with you, but it still transfers the load down into the hip belt and distributes the load evenly through the pack. And it also is tough enough to stop, kind of lumpy objects sticking through, which can be a problem with lightweight foam backs. And then on top of that, so this is their AirScape back system, and the name really gives it away. On top of that, they've placed these foam ridges, which create channels of air that move through the pack. And over the top of that, you've got a lightweight mesh. So even though the pack sits very close to your back, you still get air moving through the whole system. Admittedly, it's not as light and breezy and airflowy as a trampoline back system, where you've got a kind of curved frame with a straight mesh that sits against your back and creates a kind of, big air gap between you and the pack. But having said that, for a pack that clings to your back really well if you're moving, it's really stable, it's really secure, it provides excellent ventilation, so you can feel that air moving through here. So this is a big upgrade for this season in the back system. And part of the back system is the new hip belt. So this is kind of like almost one piece. It's not quite a one piece, there are a couple of seams here, but it's a smooth integration from the back through to the hip belt. So they wrap around your hips really nicely, and the way they're shaped up here, they kind of curve over the top of your pelvis and really kind of lock the pack into place on your hips. So it's super secure and really, really comfortable because they're soft and lightweight. They're not a massively structural hip belt. The assumption is you're not going to be carrying a huge amount of weight in here, but there's enough there to transfer that weight onto your hips. And then up on the shoulder harness, again, you've got this ventilated foam in between a mesh fabric to allow the air to flow through. It's all about ventilation. And the fact that this has got little holes in does also allow a little bit of stretch. So when you've got it on your back and you might be scrambling, you might just want to make sure your stability is really good. It just moves with you rather than rolling around on your back. So you can really lock it down without it feeling restrictive and uncomfortable. So that's the new Airscape back system. Osprey supply this in 2 back lengths, and each back length is also customizable to length with a Velcro pad on the shoulder harness, which sits here, so you can separate these two, move the shoulder harness up and down to fine tune the fit. So it's really important to make sure that your rucksack fits you properly. It's probably as important as getting good fitting or correctly fitting footwear. Your comfort and enjoyment of your activity will massively depend on how well your rucksack is fitting you. Hannah did a really good video on this, and Harry will pop a link up through to that video. So go and fill your boots, have a look at that. Make sure you understand exactly how to fit your rucksack properly to maximise your enjoyment in the outdoors. Right, let's rattle through the feature set on this new Talon. Oh, that's a look then, 26. Yeah, 26. Let's start around the back, around the harness system. Storage-wise, you hip fin pockets. So these are really nice, big 3D zipped pockets on the hip fins. And when I say 3D, I mean they're kind of shaped so that when you tighten the hip belt onto your hips, it doesn't collapse the pockets. They stay in shape, so you can still get things in and out, even though they're done up tight, which is something which is oft overlooked. Osprey have added also a little stretchy pocket up on the shoulder harness here on the left-hand side. I did try and get my big old phablet in here earlier, but it wouldn't fit. So I'm guessing these are going to be ideal for little soft drinks flasks, or even maybe some chocolate treats, maybe a Mars bar. Other chocolate bars are available. You've got a adjustable sternum strap, so this slides up and down on this little rib up on the harness here, and on the buckle end you've got a little whistle built in, so always got your emergency whistle with you. And then moving up to the top here, you've got a neat little grab handle, and then behind the HDPE sheet, behind the airflow back system, is the hydration sleeve, and that goes right the way to the bottom, like so, so you can do a little ventriloquist dummy act with your Talon 26. Harry's not smiling at that. He's going to edit that out, I bet. Anyway, and then there's a little clip here to stop the hydration sleeve slumping down to the bottom of the channel on the inside. And what Osprey have done rather cleverly is they've created space kind of inboard rather than outboard. So when the bladder is full and it kind of balloons out, it doesn't push the back system out. It pushes into the inside of the pack where it's generally going to be softer. So there's a real good space down there for your hydration sleeve. Moving on with pockets, we've got 2 stretch mesh pockets on the side here, perfect for water bottles, tent poles, that kind of thing. And they're reinforced down at the bottom, so if you've got a tent pole in there, it's not going to poke its way through, and also it's an area of high wear. And then over the top of those, you've got these neat little compression straps. So if you've got a skinny bottle in there, stop it sliding around, you can tighten the compression strap up. And they're always useful as well if the pack is partially full. You can lock the contents, stop the pack swaying around if it's half full. Just lock that into place, keep all the contents still. And then another big storage pocket on the front here, big stretch pocket with a clip at the top if you need easier access, but you can get into it pretty easily anyway. And this is a great place to store wet, mucky things. If you've got over trousers and it's been raining, store them in there, they'll dry out quickly. Gaiters, tent fly sheet, that kind of thing. Anything that's wet, you don't want in the main pack, will store nice and easily in that front section. And then down the bottom here, you've got a little loop which you can attach an LED light to. So it's giving a nod to maybe using this for kind of long mountain bike days out. You might find yourself riding back on the road in the night and you can put a blinker light on there, or even for a bit of trail running, like I said earlier. So it's that nod to that versatility of the pack. Then up on the top here, you've got a big zip pocket. And then inside the pack, you've got another mesh security pocket with a key clip on the inside of that as well. So moving on to accessory features, you get the brilliant stow and go feature with all of the Talon packs. And this basically enables you to stash your walking poles down the side of the pack so you can get them on and off without having to remove the pack. It just makes it super easy and quick to access your walking poles. If you don't like the stow and go, some people just can't get on with it. I don't know, I really like it. I think it's a great feature. There is an external ice axe stroke walking pole system on the outside here. So you've got a little bungee cord with a hook, and then tucked away, hidden away in a little pocket is your webbing loop for the walking poles or for the head of your ice axe. So again, if you want to use this for a bit of winter hill walking, or you want to take an axe with you just for some steeper ground, you've got that facility on the pack. Again, just a nod to how versatile this pack is. It's for cycling, for running, for walking, for a little bit of light mountaineering. It's just a super versatile pack. So like I said at the beginning of the video, both the 26 and the 36 share the same entry system. And personally, Harry and I were just talking about this. We were just going through the range. We've done quite a few packs videos. And this is our little favourite way into the packs. It gives loads of access, really easy access in if you're having to route around in the pack to find things. So what you've got is a double zip here, which comes round and they kind of meet in the middle here, just in front of the main, in front of this little strap at the front here. So there's the ends of the zips. And what that means is the whole top of the pack just opens up like that, and you can see these lovely cushion fillers which we are using to stuff the pack. Get rid of that. And then inside you can see that mesh pocket that I talked about earlier. There's your little security pocket, and there's your key clip. So if I empty this out completely, you can see how big an opening that is. It's really easy to see in there, to get at stuff. The lid doesn't get in the way. The pack kind of still retains its integrity with the back system. It's it's my favourite Talon opening system thing. Okay, so while we're talking about features, I'm just going to explain the subtle differences between the 26 and the 36. The first difference obviously is in the size. The 36 is 10 litres bigger, so it's a little bit taller. It's a little bit wider. It's designed for carrying heavier loads. So at 36 litres, the expectations here are that you'd be carrying using this bag, for a lightweight overnight camp. So you might have a tent, stove, food, etc. in here, a little bit more weight. And to cope with that, Osprey have given us a light wire frame which runs around all the way around the periphery of the pack. That's what's called a light wire periphery frame, as well as the new HDPE frame sheet incorporated into the AirScape back system. So this part of the back is identical. But what you've got here on the 36 is that light wire frame running around the outside, which just gives the pack more structural integrity, designed for carrying heavier loads. And as part of that system for carrying heavier loads, the compression system is slightly different on the bottom of the bag here, in as much as it's tied into the hip belt. So to increase that load transfer and to increase the stability on uneven ground, you can really kind of lock the bottom of the pack in through the hip belt, by tightening this compression strap and also by tightening the hip belt to really lock it into place, and it makes a massive difference to the stability and the load transfer of the pack. Talking of compression straps, you also get on the 36, not on the 26, you get inside out compression straps, which basically means if you can have the compression strap on the outside of the pocket, or if you unthread it and thread it through the little hole down here, you can have the compression strap running the inside of the pocket. It's entirely up to you whether you want to compress everything or just compress the pack. That's entirely up to you. Personally, I like it on the outside, probably because I just can't be bothered to unthread it and thread it back in again, but it seems to work that way around for me. The other subtle differences are you get twin ice axe holders on here. Again, this would make a great lightweight mountaineering winter scrambling pack. So a couple of ice axes can be attached on the outside. And something that you don't get on the 36, which you do get on the 26, is a blinker light attachment, because you wouldn't be running with this on the road, or you wouldn't be cycling with this size pack on the road, I would assume. And Osprey would assume too, because you don't get a light attachment on here. So those are the main differences between the 36 and the 26. Everything else is the same: the entrance, the pockets, configuration, etc., the stow and go, all that is the same. Okay, that's great. That's the Talon 26. Thanks very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to use the new studio. I can't wait to get out into the sunshine. But if you have any questions or comments, please pop them in the section below. It's always good to hear from you. And all that's left for me to say really is toodaloo. So toodaloo.